Hey, what's going on? It's Mike from LiveMyAssOff.com. I wanted to show you guys, this is a church, but it's not just your average sort of old building church in New England. It's where I went to nursery school, aka preschool, I guess. It depends on what part of the world you're from. That's what it's called. So this is St. John's, what we used to refer to as St. John's Elementary School, I think. Or St. John's Nursery School. Anyway, I went here before I went to elementary school, where I met a buddy of mine, Brian, who I will be seeing this evening, who is my same age as I am, and I've known him since I was, I guess, 5, right? Isn't that when you go to nursery school? So anyway, so I've known him for 45 years. So that's pretty awesome, actually. And but the other cool thing is that this is sort of near our downtown area. Our downtown area sort of starts there, and I'll show you a little bit of that as I walk down. You can see the American flags. You might not be able to see the street, but what I wanted to show you is how patriotic we are here in the New England area. Because you could argue that, you know, the 4th of July is pretty important to cities like Philadelphia and Boston. So. Around, you know, and so it's a patriotic thing. Our parade here is actually pretty awesome. It's probably equal in awesome as the one in Coronado. San Diego being sort of a military city, right? Well, Coronado obviously has North Island and the Navy SEALs train there and that sort of thing too. So it's pretty cool, huh? Yeah, it's a good-looking place. I remember it as being a very pleasurable experience when I was a young boy. So anyway, I'm gonna meet some friends here later. Right now it's about 6, I think. Then I'm gonna meet them here about 7. And then the great thing about that is that I can then just sort of leave my car there and go down to watch the fireworks, which is tonight, July 1st. They're doing fireworks at night. And a couple reasons for that. One is that they do it the weekend before July 4th on the off chance that it might rain, so that they can then cancel it and do it the weekend after July 4th, which has happened a couple of times. Living here, you don't, when you plan things, you always plan a rain date, which became very odd to me when I was in San Diego, because I'm like, well, what do we do if it rains? You know, when I was first there, my friends were like, if it rains, then we stop calling ourselves living in a drought. So anyway, so this is where I am, right on Main Street in Hingham, Mass. And one of the quotes I think I've heard about Main Street is that Eleanor Roosevelt referred to it as Main Street, USA. So, don't know if you find that true or not. But so let me show you the center of the street, how they've repainted it. Okay, so what I won't do is get hit, and I'll go over here and show you guys how in fact, I don't know if it's always been this long. I know that there's a portion of it that's like all the way down. But as you can see, they've, let's see, how much traffic is there? I will get out in the middle of the street and show you. So that kind of gives you a good idea. There you go. That's a little better, right? Now the parade starts way up there, where the lines are still yellow. And I actually don't know if this stays here. I know that there are parts of this that absolutely stay red, white, and blue all year. But I think they had to do some weird sort of permit nonsense to keep it like this. Let me not get hit. That's a pretty cool shot, right? So the other reason I'm taking this is because you will see a different amount of people. And you can see over there, that house, they're already like starting the party, and I'm sure they will continue all weekend, all the way through the 4th. These homes that are along here, well, I mean, everything in here is very historic. My town, that I'm very proud of, was incorporated in 1635, so long before there was a United States. This was one of the original 13 colonies. In fact, it was probably one of the original 3 colonies, quite frankly. I actually don't remember the history completely. Even though I was part of graduating from Hingham High. Actually, no, they don't do that anymore. Or they didn't do it when I did it. They only did it after I graduated, which actually you had to take a course called The History of Hingham before you graduated Hingham High. And so this is like very common. Now, to be fair, this is also very common in other parts of the United States, and it's also very common in Coronado. So it was interesting when I started living in Coronado. I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm living in Hingham. So, but a lot of times what will happen is you'll walk by these houses and they'll have plaques on them. That one doesn't seem to, but they'll have plaques on them because they were, or they are, historic. And as you can see, some of the houses are enormous. And so you know, it's funny. I mean, it's all about zip code, right? I mean, you can take a very large house in the middle of northern Kentucky. If you pick it up and plop it down in Rancho Santa Fe, then of course it becomes, you know, the land and that sort of thing. It becomes worth a lot more. And some of these houses and some of the acreage, as you can see, the houses go, you know, the things go, well, so yeah, there you go. So there's a great example. So that house, you know, built in 1774. If I keep walking, actually, and I walk even further down here, and the other reason I'm showing you this street right now is because the parade will go down this street. So on July 4th, this will be lined with people, not just from Hingham, but many people in the neighboring towns. That's sort of interesting. Pro Hingham. It's a pretty nice house, and it says, the sign says house built in 1871. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Yeah, 1871. I don't know if you can see that. No. I thought it might have said 1671, which is absolutely possible. This is the old parish house. And the reason there's the old parish house is because it is where the folks that would be in charge of the church, this one right there, worked and lived. Worked and lived. And this is the old ship church. The old ship church, I'm sorry, is that right? It might be the Old North Church. Ooh, I forget. Nope, I'm sorry. It's the Old Ship Meeting House. The Old Ship Church is further down. That's the Old Ship Parish House. This is the Old Ship Meeting House right here. And then the Old Ship Church is further down, and I cannot remember where it is. This is First Baptist Church, I think, right here. But, you know, I mean, again, right, it was the Pilgrims. So Old Ship Meeting House, Old Ship Parish. Now, there is a plaque here that we will look at that discusses Old Ship Church. And, oh, I know where it is. Old Ship Church. So yeah, as you can see, oh, and then so we have Lincoln statue that's further down, and then right sort of in front of it, sort of to the right of it, is the old Lincoln House. Now, it wasn't necessarily where he lived when he was president, but, and I don't exactly know if Abraham Lincoln lived there. He may have been born there. I know that people in the Lincoln family lived there. And if I don't get to it during this walk, because it's a little bit after 6, my meeting starts about 7, so I want to get there about 6:45. But again, I suppose you can sort of see why Ms. Roosevelt called it Main Street, USA. It is very America. And, you know, as I mentioned before in my videos, so Andy Lee Graham, hobotraveler.com, he goes home to where he grew up and where his family is, which is in Orland, Indiana, and shows pictures of his downtown where he grew up. And you could argue that you could close your eyes there and teleport yourself here, and if you all of a sudden ended up on this street, it might look and feel quite a lot like where he grew up in Orland, Indiana. Point is that this is America. And the other thing I'm going to do, okay, so this is Old Ship Church. Am I right? No, I'm losing it. No, this is the First Meeting House. So I don't know. Oh, for the love of God. Of course I know where Old Ship Church is. It's this big church coming up. How soon I forget. Anyway, it's this big, and it was, the other reason it's sort of famous is because at one time the entire steeple caught fire. I was actually here when that happened. I don't remember what year it was, but obviously I was much younger because I was here. But yeah, so there you go. So there is Old Ship Church, and then there's Old Ship Meeting House and Old Ship Parish House. So, and why is that important? Well, because it's been in use as a church for, let's see, coming up on 200, I'm sorry, is that right? 170 years. So this is South Street. So apparently my buddy's wife's place is on North Street. So we will go over there and check that out. And she's got a little store of some kind. And I don't know quite frankly what they sell, but I'll check it out. This will also be very, very busy in about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And then at sundown, 8:30, 9 o'clock. Sunset, according to the Google, is 8:24 p.m. So by about 9, they will start the fireworks, and it will be very, very busy here. So anyway, Jesus, I'm sorry. That's St. Paul's Catholic Church. So the next thing I'm going to do is figure out where the heck Old North Church is. Old Ship Church. So that'll be a discovery we'll do.